And welcome back to section 431 with your boys Ryan and Travis. Got a lot to talk about this week. We got the playoffs started. Just started this week. Week 17 was this past weekend, and it is now Wednesday. You're probably hearing this Thursday, but the game starts Saturday, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the finale to the season, and we'll cover a little bit of, kind of the award seasons coming up. Got Hall of Fame finalists. They're whittled down to just 15. Only 5 of those guys can get in, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And as well, usual, we'll talk about some other sports, and it'll be sports only. There's a lot going on in the world, but we're going to kind of give you a relief, give you just some sports to talk about. So without further ado, here is Travis Wibb on the other side. Take it away.
What's going on, guys? So, I don't know what game you have for the first. I guess you had the Bills and Dolphins.
Yep.
Is that what you got first? Okay. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I mean, Dolphins had to win it to get into the playoffs. The Bills just had to win it,
Yeah, we're gonna probably kind of go through some of these games that were blowouts or meaningless, pretty much. But this does knock Miami out of the playoffs. They were the only team to lose. Right? Yeah, they were the only team to lose that was on that bubble in the AFC.
Yeah.
So that's what knocked them out, and they just didn't show up against the Bills. The Bills didn't rest players to start. They did get them out. Third quarter, I believe.
Yeah.
They had Matt Barkley in there, but
I'm just gonna say this, and I guess we can move on from it. But because it was just a blowout. Yeah. But it doesn't help when you have your rookie quarterback pass the ball 58 times. That doesn't help.
Yeah, that's too much. Too much on Tua there. I mean, 361 yards. He completed 35. I mean, but
still, that's too much to be asking for him.
It was a rough day, and the Bills are looking really good going into the playoffs. So we're gonna talk about playoffs later, of course. But they are the 2 seed with that win. I think if they lost, they could have dropped to the 3 seed. So that was maybe why they started their starters there.
Yeah.
And 2 and 3 isn't much of a difference, but they get home field through the next round too, with that 2nd seed. So you have to you respect them sending their starters out there because you want to play every game. And we're also going to talk about a team that didn't do that completely later on, but 13-3 final record for them on the season. Great job, Bills, looking good. For the playoffs. Dolphins will see you next year. You got a good draft coming for the Dolphins.
Oh, Lord. They're drafting 3rd.
Yeah, they got the 3rd pick with the trade with the Texans, and they'll have the 18th pick.
Yeah, insane.
For their standing. So, yeah, if they draft good, they could be set up for the next few years to maybe compete with the Bills, who are looking like a solid one for that division. Next up, I had the Ravens at the Bengals, another blowout. The Ravens needed to win this to make sure they got in the playoffs, and they did just that. They won 38-3.
They ran the ball so much.
Yeah,
404 total rushing yards.
Jeez,
That's insane.
JK with 160 yards on 13 carries.
Yeah,
jeez, man.
Dude, I would have started him this week if we had fantasy football against you.
Yeah, and look, I see the last touchdown was a 72-yard run. That would have probably won the game for some people if they had Dobbins there.
Yeah.
Easy one there. Ravens do get in the playoffs as the 5 seed with tiebreaker over the Browns and Colts. So.
Yeah, and it's looking like for the Bengals next year, hopefully Burrow comes back for the full year. I hope so.
Yeah, he's been looking good. Things I've seen Twitter we talked about last week, where he was up walking. I mean, with a little help, wasn't full strength, but that's a good sign for coming back in the fall. Maybe being able to come on back, but they definitely need to draft some offensive line and fix that, keep him upright when he does come back.
And they picked 5th, so I think they're in a good position
Yeah,
to.
there's some good ones that they can get at that spot, and they're of course not going for a quarterback. So there's a few teams up there that are, so they
Yeah.
should be able to get, really anything they need.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a good pick for them as maybe offensive lineman there.
Yep. Definitely.
Let's see, next up on the other AFC North teams, the Browns and the Steelers. And the Steelers really had nothing to gain or lose. They could have moved up to the second seed. They had their backups in. Mason Rudolph went up against Myles Garrett again. Browns squeaked away with a win, 24-22. Um, and they're gonna have a rematch here in the playoffs as well.
Yeah. I don't think the Browns really played the best that they could in this game either, so we'll have to see what all happens there,
Yeah, maybe the two teams know each other well, being division rivals, but maybe they were just kind of holding back, not tipping any hands, and really both sides, for the next, because they knew they would have to play each other in the next round. At this point, I don't think, maybe if the Ravens had lost, maybe they would have been a different opponent there, but they pretty much knew they were going to be playing the Browns
Yeah.
in the playoffs. So maybe it's a little bit of that, holding your cards before, not showing everything there. But
Yeah.
either way, Browns win. They get in 24-22, close game. There was no helmet slinging in this one. I think they actually shook hands and made amends or something after. I don't know, but
Nick Chubb had a good day, 108 yards, so other than that, nothing really special for this game. Baker had his receivers back, so that helps.
yeah, definitely. But going
So,
into the playoffs, I believe they're still going to be without their coach because of
yeah.
coronavirus. I think he tested positive. They had, what was it, two or three? No, they had two other coaches and two players that were either contact tracing or had it. But last I saw, they're still going to have the game as scheduled. It's either, I had to look at the schedule, it's either Saturday or Sunday that they're playing.
Yeah.
So that's a little disadvantage for the Browns, but yeah, it's kind of what they got to do. It's unprecedented times here this year, this season, with the virus, with all the different things going on in the world. So kind of had to play it there.
Yeah, definitely.
The next one we had Vikings at Lions. That was an interesting game to watch. It was meaningless as far as draft picks and playoffs, really, but it was kind of a cool shootout game.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford still played in that one a little bit, I think. Yeah, he got 293 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's been battling injuries. He may not even be on the team next year.
Oh
So
my lord.
it was kind of an audition tape, maybe if he's a trade piece or anything
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, of course, there was nothing in the standings at stake in that one, but it was kind of interesting seeing him go to that game every now and then because there were some plays being made. Justin Jefferson did break the rookie receiving record, Anquan Bolden's record. He broke that, so that was a pretty cool piece out of it, and
Yeah.
another good division rivalry game, I guess, if you're a fan of those teams. But they're just kind of working to get back next year and be better next year. But
Yeah.
it was kind of a fun game to flip back to that one every now and then.
Yeah, definitely.
The next another pretty meaningless one. The Jets, they have the second
Yeah.
the second draft pick locked up, and they played the Patriots and couldn't grab a win against the Patriots there. It was
Still up in the air for the Jets of if they draft with the second pick or do they trade it and keep Darnold. I don't know what they're gonna do.
yeah.
We'll find
It
out.
seems like they're either gonna trade Darnold or trade the pick.
Yeah.
So definitely some teams like your Panthers may be listening, maybe trying to send an offer. A few of those teams that are really looking to make sure they get the guy they want. Maybe looking for that second pick, or maybe Darnold they see as a potential answer or something.
Yeah.
I don't really know that Darnold's gonna be a high price tag, but he could be a solid quarterback to bring in. Needs a change of scenery maybe. Um,
Yeah.
it could be a good move for him and his new team.
Just goes New England.
right, and then becomes a stud.
Yeah,
I,
right.
I feel like all these quarterbacks that are going to be available, I feel like the Patriots are going to get one.
Yeah.
I've heard Jimmy Garoppolo as a big one going back to the Patriots, but
Really?
yeah, I mean he's one that I don't really know what's up with him in the 49ers, but he's one that I've heard a few rumors about
Yeah.
them maybe moving on from him and drafting somebody or whatever. But anything could happen. This offseason should be interesting because there's about 8 coaching vacancies. There's 6 or 7, starting quarterbacks that could be moving. You got good draft quarterbacks this year coming in. So it's going to be interesting in the offseason. We'll probably have something to actually talk about this offseason,
Yeah,
football
right.
wise. But yeah, it's definitely going to be something once trading and drafting and all that starts.
Yeah.
Come
It's
April.
kind of funny because we go from off season to on season with NASCAR coming back. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, they end. Well, let's see. It's the Super Bowl, and then the next week is Daytona 500, right?
yeah, I think that's still it.
Yeah, and which they're talking about if they add an extra game. They may add an extra game next year, which would move it back a week. So I don't know if that'll make them the same weekend or what, but I don't know. But I'm looking forward to NASCAR. I'm looking forward
I am
to
too,
all the
man.
stuff coming up. Coming up. Hopefully, we get where we can actually go to them. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patriots beat the Jets 28-14. Pretty decisive win. Cam Newton got all 4 touchdowns. 3 of them were passing, one, and he caught another one from his what was it? His flag football quarterback. That's what they said on the broadcast. He was when he was a kid, he was the playing flag football for Cam Newton's team, and he was Cam Newton's quarterback on his flag football team, and he was the one that threw the touchdown to Cam Newton on in their game.
Yeah.
I think it was Jacoby Myers. Maybe it was one of the wide receivers.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep, Jacoby Myers was the one that did it. So that was kind of cool, little full circle kind of thing there. But then we had the Cowboys and the Giants. That was a wild one, and that one definitely had some implications. If whoever won that needed Washington to lose,
Yeah.
which there was some controversy there. We'll get to.
Lord.
But man, Giants almost blew this one. I made a joke on Facebook. It was like New York and their butt fumbles. As the Jets a few years back, Sanchez fumbled into his center's butt. Well,
Yeah.
the Giants, I think it was Wayne Gallman running with it, drops
Yeah.
it and then recovers it with his butt. Like they said, he had possession. I was like, squeezing your glutes is how you get possession now. I mean, but either way, they said he got it, and it was game over then. So Giants come away with the win, 23-19. Really doesn't. Oh, dude, we got a 23-19. I didn't even notice that. Oh my goodness, this is a Pixar joke. We got a 23-19. Oh, I just realized that.
You said it, and I sat here for a second, and I'm just like, wait a minute.
We got a 23-19. Oh, there was a player with a sock on his jersey or something. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that.
I didn't either.
That's
I
funny.
was sitting here just listening, just looking at the everything, and I was like, wait a minute, 23-19, what?
Yeah. Oh man, but but that was that was a wild game. That's hilarious that was a 23-19 game. Oh man. But yeah, great effort for the Giants. It was, the Giants fans are upset, of course, because of the Washington game, and I've seen points where they're like, "Look, you're 6-10. If you'd have won some more games, you'd have been in." I get that too.
Yeah.
It sucks either way, all the way around. But the NFC East, I think they'll be okay next year. They're going to get better. Those
Yeah,
teams need to
definitely.
get healthy. So there's a lot to look forward to. You're going to have decent draft picks by having such a bad record. So there's
Yeah.
one way to look at it. So hats off to them. They finished second and third in the division there, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it happens.
23-19. Oh man. Then next we had the Falcons just get. I think that one was close, but then
Yeah, it
it
was a
spread
lot
out.
closer, but then I looked away for like maybe 15 minutes, and then it was 44-27, and I'm like, what in the world happened, man?
Yeah. Which really,
But this
that's
is
only a 3 possession game. That's not, you know, terrible, but
yeah, it's one of those games that didn't really matter. But
yeah,
Brady played the whole game, 399 yards, 4 touchdowns.
yeah,
Jones is back. Ronald Jones is back.
yeah. Ronald Jones back. That is awesome to see, and they actually used him a little bit. They,
Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin over 130 and 2 touchdowns each. Good lord.
yeah, Antonio Brown. Tom Brady actually threw him like 3 shovel passes, so he could get a reception count. I think he had to get 45 receptions to
That's
get
right.
to get an incentive or bonus.
Yeah.
And
I
they had a
saw a
lot of
bunch
that
of that.
going on week
Yeah.
17, which is it's always cool to see that, you know.
It was like Emmanuel Sanders needed like 11 catches,
Yeah,
and he actually got it, and Breeze made sure he got it.
yeah, he had his hands up in the air and all that. The Seahawks was another one. I think it was David Moore. Uh, Russell Wilson changed the play. What him and I think it was the offensive coordinator changed the play at the line that Pete Carroll called in to be
Oh
a
yeah, it was
pass.
supposed to be like a what was it supposed to be? A kneel?
Yeah, I think it was over. Like they were just gonna kneel, and he was like, "No, we got to get the one more catch for him." And
Yeah.
so he did it, and the camera shows like Pete Carroll like just mad, and then he realizes and he just kind of smiles. I was like, yeah, "That's cool."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, a lot of cool stuff like that in week 17
Yeah.
to kind of
But
take away from the stress of trying to win games.
yeah,
Get
it's
in.
crazy because in David Moore's case, like that money helps him feed his family. I think they were talking about it like he
Yeah,
doesn't make the millions that other people do, but just that little bit helps.
yeah. And he's one that because I'm watching Tyler Lockett every week because he's on all my fantasy teams, and my dad's got DK Metcalf, so we're always watching those two. And it seemed like he threw to David Moore a lot this year
Yeah.
because neither one of us would score, and it'd be David Moore that scored. But apparently not as much as I thought. Because I think he only needed 35 catches or something to
Yeah.
get his incentive. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It was good to see though. It was good to see.
yeah, it was cool stuff like that. That it's just it's nice. And Brady actually had a incentive too. I don't know if he met that, but he had to be top 5 in passing yards and something else. But I think he
Yeah.
got 5th in passing yards on the season, but I don't think he needs the bonus as much.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
But yeah, Bucks won 44-27. Pretty, decisive victory that solidified them at the 5 seed.
Yeah.
They could have dropped if the Rams had won and and they had lost. They could have dropped one spot there, but winning, they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
The next up, we had the Packers and the Bears, and that one was. It looked like it could have been decent, but the Packers kind of took over and just didn't let them back.
Yeah.
But that one was important because if the Bears had won that one, that was one that last week, if you saw, we you picked the Bears to win, and I think what we say the Cardinals beating the Rams, and it
Yeah.
like the whole NFC just changed. Like I think literally every spot except for the 4 seed on the NFC side, changed if the
Yeah.
Bears had won.
Yeah.
But the Bears didn't win. They still do get in because of the Cardinals losing.
Yeah.
So the Rams stayed in, and the Bears have a tiebreaker over the Cardinals. So they did did enough on the season to get through at 8-8. They make it in the playoffs.
Good Lord.
But yeah, that second quarter for the Packers was killer. They had 3 touchdowns in there. 72-yard pass to Valdez Scantling, which I believe was left wide open on that play. And they even closed off in the fourth quarter with 2 touchdowns. So
Good Lord.
the Packers are looking pretty good. They are looking like a 1 seed. Obviously a favorite by many to be in at least the NFC side of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So and the MVP is probably going to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think so too.
and he's having. I actually looked at his. I think it was his 2011 season. It's his best career season, at least by quarterback rating.
Really?
And this year is like 1 point less than that at 121.5.
Dang.
So I mean, he's been pretty efficient, pretty good. 48 touchdowns this year. I you
But
know I'd like to see Derrick Henry get it, but Aaron Rodgers has earned it as well. I mean, they're pretty even as far as value there.
I'm just proud the Panthers defense kept him to being pretty terrible.
Yeah, it could have been worse, right? If your Panthers hadn't showed up in the second half. Oh man, but yeah, Packers 35, Bears 16. Packers keep the first seed, and Bears get in on a Cardinals loss. They get in on that 7 seed in the playoffs.
Yep.
Next, we had Raiders and Broncos, and that one was close. There was a 2-point conversion that won it for the Raiders. Some good plays in that one. Jerry Jeudy had a huge catch for like 92 yards for a touchdown. It was another one of those kind of like the Vikings Lions. It was kind of a shootout deal.
Yeah.
Division
It
rivalry.
didn't
But
matter or anything though. So.
yeah, there was no. Didn't really change. Draft picks may have changed a couple spots either way, but I don't. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But 32-31 Raiders came out on top. Then we had Colts and the Jaguars, and the daggone Jaguars were stressing me out because if they had won, beating the Colts, then that would have sealed the division title for the Titans, win or lose.
Hey, at one point they tried. They were close.
They like to give you enough hope when you're rooting for them, and then just rip your soul out of you. I feel for Jags fans if you're still with that team, man. You got the first pick, but man, it's just but 28-14 final score. Colts actually went for 2 in the fourth quarter. They were up 20-14 going into the fourth quarter. It came out 28-14, but either way,
not needed, but whatever.
yeah, they got that done. Got into the playoffs, and they are the 7 seed because the Ravens and Browns won, but with the Dolphins loss, that's how they got in.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean that was pretty meaningful, but kind of we knew Jonathan Taylor. Do want to shout him out? 253 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. That was a pretty dang good day. That was the franchise record for rushing yards with the Colts, and they've had some pretty good running backs come through there. So
yeah, right.
Hats off to him. They finally fed him, gave him 30 carries in that game.
That's what they need to do going to
every
the
game, right? Except for against the Titans, just let them rest those games. But yeah, so good for him there because he all year it seems like he's been kind of splitting with Nyheim Hines or whoever else they put back there. So I think he needs to be their guy, and then Nyheim Hines comes in, every now and then. But I don't know, they got good running backs there. Marlon Mack as well when he's healthy. Another good one there. So
yep.
And then we had Chargers beat the Chiefs. Chiefs had backups in with the entire game, right?
Yeah. Mahomes didn't even think about playing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them did really, so it wasn't really a good win for Herbert, I guess. So that's about it.
Yeah, Anthony Lynn, you kind of feel for because they won like a few of their last games, and he still got fired.
Yeah, right.
From the Chargers,
that's going to be a good coaching spot for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you get Justin Herbert. He's probably going to be Rookie of the Year. It does suck a little bit for him. He's going to probably have to learn a whole new playbook, though. Hopefully they can get somebody that, kind of has something similar to what he needs. And maybe just add a little bit to it and make the play calling a little better. But it does suck for Anthony Lynn. I feel like he's decent, but maybe he needs to be more specialized. Maybe, because play calling has clearly been an issue for the Chargers. They're just not able to finish. So when that's the issue, that's the guy you're gonna look at to be the kind of the scapegoat for it. So, but I feel like he'll probably be able to find a job somewhere, being like an assistant or something, and maybe get back on his feet, get back into it. But yeah, so Chargers 38-21 on that one. Pretty good day for Herbert, but again, kind of meaningless game. Just kind of a see what you got for next year kind of deal, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we had the Rams at the Cardinals, and oh my goodness, that was something. We had two off the street quarterbacks come into that one. Golf was out already because of he had a pinky or thumb. I think it was broken
Yeah.
thumb maybe.
Yeah.
So he was out already, and then Kyler Murray got hurt in the game. He came back late, like fourth quarter, third quarter.
Who the heck is Chris Streveler?
Yeah, he's the guy they got, man.
I didn't know who came in for him, but I just saw the name.
Yeah. To get through cleared, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, quarterback out of South Dakota came in, 105 yards. They didn't really do much at all. 36 yards was the leading rusher. Walford came in for the Rams. He was a Wake Forest quarterback, I believe. He was decent, but it was something, man. It's pretty bad. 18-7 was the score. Rams got let's see, a safety because of a penalty. Then 84-yard interception return for a touchdown. That's pretty cool. Right as at the end of the half too. 20 seconds left in the half. 84-yard interception. That put them up 12-7 at halftime, and then they kicked 2 field goals in the second half. So that was kind of a weird way to get into the playoffs, but Rams got it done. The next we have the Seahawks at the 49ers. Seahawks were the only one in the playoffs here. I don't think they could have gained something if the Saints and Packers had lost, but both of them won, so really nothing to lose here against the Niners. They won 26-23 and keep that 3 seed. It's kind of just a decent day for them. Tyler Lockett had a lot of catches, but only 90 yards. Beathard was decent, considering. I think, maybe he could be. Maybe they're sold on him as their guy going forward. I wouldn't think so, but
no.
They used him a lot here lately. But I think what I've seen most of is that they're going to draft a quarterback, but that kind of depends on what they do with Garoppolo.
Yeah, I thought he was the guy there.
That's what I thought, but I keep hearing rumors that they're trying to work a deal, get him out of there. So I don't know. But yeah, Seahawks 3 seed in the playoffs. 49ers, of course, out. They're looking at being a middle of that 18 draft pick probably. It might be a top 10 pick. Let me see.
I see you got it pulled up back there.
Oh yeah, the 12th pick. So
there you
go. But I've seen some say they may trade up to get a better pick there. So
I hope not.
Yeah. Then we had the Saints at your Carolina Panthers, 33-7. Rough day once again for the Panthers, man.
Panthers threw 5 interceptions. And it was to the point where I'm just like, okay, this is bad. We need to stop. Like, Bridgewater threw 2, and then PJ Walker threw 3. And I'm sitting here like, okay, that's enough. Because we didn't have McCaffrey this game or Mike Davis this game. So overall, it was just bad. Yeah. Curtis Samuel had a big game again. Good Lord. We need to sign him. Like, he's not signed to a contract.
I think he's going to be kind of a... he should get paid this year.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, the Panthers have good receivers. I feel like this year was really good. I mean, for all 3 of them, the 3 of the main ones.
Yeah, we had all 3 of them go over 1,000 yards, total yards.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel 850 in receiving. So I mean.
Yeah.
But 200 rushing, I think.
Yeah. So, but 4 overall people. We had 4 guys go over 1,000 yards this year, and we only won 5 games.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and a lot of it's just getting down. Like, I don't know how many times I saw the Panthers turn it over in the red zone.
2 this week, and then the week
I'm saying. It's Walker. Like a lot. PJ Walker's first game, he did really well. It's just in the red zone, like literally within the 10-yard line. He had 2 or 3 interceptions there.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the yards to get them down there, but Panthers seem to be like we got to get a 50-yard touchdown because we get 40-yard pass and then can't get in the end zone. It doesn't do us any good, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, and the Panthers, I feel like they definitely have some pieces they have to get. They need players back healthy. They need Christian McCaffrey healthy. And if you listen to Travis, they need a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater ain't it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, considering they got a new coach, they had the star of their team go down. Jeremy Chin was a good bright spot. If you see Carolina Chin there, that's for our defensive rookie of the year over there on the side there. Thumbs up for you.
You know what? He may not win it in the NFL, but he won the Section 431 defensive rookie of the year.
You right. And that's more important. We're gonna have to send him a trophy.
Yeah. Jesus.
Let's see. So yeah, Saints, they keep the second seed. On the NFC side, Panthers kind of keep their pick spot. They'll be picking what, 8th in this one?
Yeah,
8th this year.
Jeez.
Yeah. So not too bad. You got a decent pick coming. Hopefully in the 8th
Could have been
spot.
3rd, but I talked about that last week.
And then the one that stressed me out to the max and made me almost forget every other game, the Titans were able to defeat the Texans in regulation with a doink and in field goal by a guy we just signed off the practice squad like 2 days before, I think. Sam Sloman is a legend in my book. Got that field goal. That was a great game. So many stories in just that game. Of course, can't forget Derrick Henry, 2,000 rushing yards, man. 2,000. Second one in Titans history to do it. Only team to have 2. And he's the 8th guy to get over 2,000 yards rushing. Legend, Derrick Henry. And let's see, Tannehill had a good day, 216 yards. A.J. Brown got over 1,000 yards receiving. And Corey Davis almost got there. I think he had 1 or 2 drops that maybe if he caught those, he would have got 1,000 yards. So
yeah,
great season, man, on offense. Yeah. Corey Davis is one that he's another one that's earning a contract this year. I think we need to keep him on. There's some wide receivers in the draft, but I think he's gotten now where he's a good leader on the team, maybe, or can be.
Yeah.
So I like keeping him. I like, of course, him and AJ at wide receiver. We probably could use another one. Adam Humphries was good, but he can't stay healthy, so that may be something the Titans look at. Not as a first-round pick, I wouldn't say. We need an edge rusher first. But that's something I'm looking for. Maybe 2nd or 3rd round, us maybe getting one there. Plus, there's a Heisman. The Heisman winner this year was a wide receiver. So maybe we get another Heisman on the Titans. Who knows? But I think he's going to be gone before we can get him.
Yeah, right.
But 41-38, Titans needed that win to get the division. If they lose that game, that's the difference of being the 4 seed and being the 7 seed. So they needed that win there, and they played the Ravens. If they'd have lost, they'd have played the Bills. So we've beaten the Bills, we've beaten the Ravens. So I mean, I guess we could have handled it either way, but we'll see. Hopefully, the boys can not stress me out too bad.
Yeah.
But it was a good game for the Texans. Deshaun Watson had a great day. He ended up leading the league in passing yards, I believe, because of that game. 365 yards passing, and Brandon Cooks killed it too with 166.
Yeah, it's kind of sad seeing J.J. Watt and him walking off the field, and Deshaun Watson just saying, "I'm sorry." Like we should have won 11 games, and just apologizing to J.J. Watt.
I thought it was J.J. apologizing to Deshaun.
No, Deshaun was saying sorry because they pretty much wasted one of his years because he doesn't have many left.
Well, I feel for both.
He's not going to die or anything. He's just going to retire.
Yeah, I feel for both of those guys though, man, because his first few years, Deshaun's first few years, there was a lot of promise. Like you felt like they were going to be for that division every year, and then they trade DeAndre Hopkins. Bill O'Brien is not a good coach all of a sudden for him, and
I mean, I'll trade you Teddy Bridgewater for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of down with them. Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt going out of the division somewhere.
Yeah, and come
Um,
to Carolina.
yeah, I
Like,
mean,
can you
like
imagine
Deshaun
that
Watson
team?
to Carolina, I'm with you there. That would be kind of cool to bring him there.
Like, can
Um,
you imagine how good that team would be? Oh my God.
yeah, get an offensive line for him, help him out a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because
um,
half of our offensive line is needs a contract.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna definitely have to have a pod looking at these contracts and who's gonna be available and all that stuff because
Yeah,
I got a feeling it's gonna be a lot this year. It
yeah,
seems like.
definitely.
But yeah, Titans win 41-38. They get like I said, the fourth seed, clinch the AFC South division, which I think is what's the first time since I can't remember if that was the first time since 2008 that they clinched the division. And that year they were the one seed, so they were really good that year. And then of course they lost, but it's whatever.
Yeah,
Then of course the last game, which they made Sunday night, which I still disagree with that decision. The Washington football team at the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah,
A lot of controversy with this one. A lot of people upset with how the Eagles handled it. I'm in that population of people. I feel like
yeah,
you play to win the game, like old Herm Edwards used to say.
yeah. Like
Like
JJ Watt said too. Like you got to play to
yeah,
win.
yeah. I
You
mean,
got
like
fans that are
the
here to see it.
players. That's what the players go out there to do, and the players, a lot of them didn't know that was going to happen. Like that was a coach decision, that may have been a general manager decision,
Yeah,
but that wasn't the players. I don't think were down with that. That putting Sudfield in there when like yeah, you appreciate whatever bogus story they came up with that we just want to give him some snaps because he's been here all year for us. I'm like, no, you got a rookie quarterback that this win could be something
yeah,
looking forward to the rest of his career.
yeah,
And now you've already ruined a relationship with Carson Wentz, who was your franchise quarterback. And granted, he's not performed to be, your franchise quarterback, but you ruined a relationship there. And now
yeah. And
you
it
bring in
seems like
Jalen
Hurts
Hurd.
now.
You're bringing Jalen Hurd into this, and you could ruin a relationship there by pulling him there. It just doesn't make sense to me. And they really only move up from the ninth pick to the sixth pick.
Yeah,
Like what advantage is that going to really get them? The whole thing stinks. I don't get it. I expected it if it was the Cowboys that could have got in. I was fully expecting the Eagles to tank, but the Giants, I didn't think they were going to do that. And
yeah,
I don't know. Either way, it's not. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. But
yeah. I'm
it
right there with
happened. So
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, the Eagles should have played the game out, should have kept Hurts in. Sudfeld had no reason to really play there. You're building up a rookie quarterback to be your future, it looks like, in Philadelphia. I mean, why take him out there? You don't need to take him out. Like,
mm.
I don't know.
And at that
Just,
point, they could have kicked the field goal too to tie it. It was like the
yeah,
third quarter, and they were in field goal range.
yeah, and they went for it there too. So
Yeah, and didn't get it. So it's just
yeah, it's stupid. I don't know, man.
yeah, it was stinky, stinky. I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
that was a terrible game.
Yeah, and then they made it prime
2019.
time. So ugh.
Yeah,
But either way, without that game, we wouldn't have the playoffs. So
yeah.
now we have the playoffs. Playoffs. So there's a little Dick Vermeil there for you. I almost forgot to put that up there too. I just enjoy that and gone. All right,
And the chin.
but yeah, here we go with the playoffs. Of course, most of you, if you follow sports, like I'm sure most of our listeners, viewers do.
Yeah.
There's our playoff list. We're gonna make our picks with this, but yeah, any surprises this year? Like, we'll just kind of reflect. Who was one like out of all these teams that you didn't expect at all to be here?
The football team.
Yeah, the team with no name and winning their division.
Yeah, right. um, I mean, Rams kind of. I knew they had a chance, but did I know they would make it? Not really.
Yeah, because that division's stacked, and the Cardinals
Yeah.
came out tough at the start of the year. You look at the 49ers, they were healthy. I
Yeah,
think 49ers would have been the favorite,
yeah.
even
I'm
over the
glad to see the
Seahawks maybe.
Browns. You know.
Yeah, and the Browns finally in the playoffs since when was the last time they were there, like 2002 or something like that?
I don't.
It's been a
It's been
long time. Um, or no, maybe that was since they've had 10 wins. I don't remember. But yeah, the AFC North gets 3 teams in there. That's
yeah,
you figure the Steelers and Ravens, but Browns they're looking better and better. And we have Stefanski as our Coach of the Year pick, and I still stick by that, even though he's out with coronavirus now. But
yeah,
I think he's done a great job with turning that team around and giving them a winning mentality. I don't think they're going to get by the Steelers. I feel like the Pittsburgh's going to know what to do in that one. But the Browns have potential. Um, but I hope Alex Highsmith gets at least one sack, and I hope Larry Ogunjobi gets one sack. So all good.
yeah,
All the Charlotte. Well, we got 3 Charlotte guys right on that side of the board there. The Titans have Nate Davis
yeah.
as the other
Right.
Charlotte guy. So pretty cool there.
Yeah,
I would say the Bills being as good as they are, I figured they would be pretty good. Especially, figured the Patriots would kind of drop a little this year. Maybe not as much as they did, but
yeah,
Bills coming out really strong, taking advantage of that. Um, it was a little surprising that they were this high.
yeah,
Of course, Chiefs and Packers. I kind of expected that, especially the Chiefs. Those aren't surprises. Saints, Seahawks. They're kind of the same old, same old. Bucks figured they were going to be pretty good, but again, I don't know if I would have thought as good as they are. But yeah, they're overall. I mean, these are teams that have kind of been here the past 10 years, except for like what the Browns. I
yeah,
mean, we've seen each of these teams. In
yeah,
Washington, I guess too. So
yeah. And I think we kind of figured the Buccaneers would make it this year.
yeah, I mean, you knew the Saints would, and you figured maybe one other. Um,
Yeah,
it could have been a toss-up. I mean, if the Panthers were all healthy, who knows? Like if McCaffrey played every game, they probably could have at least got a couple more wins, so make it
yeah.
interesting. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else were we going to talk about?
I
Or
guess
the
make the pick.
MVP a little bit. MVP, we kind of already said Aaron Rodgers is our
Yeah,
pick.
yeah,
I did look at the approximate value according to Pro Football Reference, and they have Aaron Rodgers at 18 approximate value, which, by the way, is pretty low for MVPs. I think
yeah.
usually they're over 20. But he was at 18. Patrick Mahomes was at 17, and Derrick Henry was at 17.
Dang.
And I was thinking about taking the angle of let's go most valuable, as in by the dollar,
Yeah,
because Josh Allen might get your MVP vote as far as how much money you spent and production,
yeah, right.
because he's in like the hundreds of thousands. The other guys are in the millions, and they're a 2 seed right now. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, Josh Allen for MVP doesn't sound so crazy.
Yeah,
Of course, Derrick Henry he didn't break a record, but he got 2,000 yards rushing, doing it with 250 yards in his last game of the season, which is a career high. Um, so I mean, there was great players this year. Any of those 4, wouldn't argue with getting it if any of those 4 got it. Mahomes included. I don't think I said his name, but. But yeah, so I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to get it. Offensive player, I don't know which way they'll go with that. If they want,
offensive rookie of the year is probably going to be Herbert.
yeah, and Justin Jefferson's kind of in there too.
Yeah,
Um, but
defensive rookie, I think is solidified now.
yeah, it's probably going to be Chase Young, but
Yeah.
we still picked the chinster there, the Carolina
Speaking of
chin.
Chase Young, how about him freaking calling out saying he's coming for Brady?
Yeah,
I don't even think he's gonna touch Brady. If he does, it'll surprise me.
yeah, it's like it's in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. Bucks have the ball. Chase Young's in the backfield for a sack. The score is still like 40-12.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got me, but who got who in the long run.
Yeah, for real. You win the war, but I don't know. Washington's got a good defense. I don't want to discredit them at all. I mean, they got
Yeah,
a pretty good one, there, but Tampa's got to be the favorite in that one. So
yeah.
with that, we're going to go into our picks. But yeah, I mean, Bucks. I feel like that's a pretty easy pick. So I'm gonna go ahead and say them.
Yeah, yeah, I'm picking the Buccaneers on that one too. I think it's Washington's got a good defense, but Buccaneers got an overall good team. And I think I saw somewhere where they're not even the football team isn't even sure who's going to start this year. I mean, this week at quarterback. Like
Yeah,
Alex Smith is still ankles hurting him, or a calf or something. I forget what it was, but
yeah, I think it was Calf. Yeah,
yeah, I think they said Taylor Heineke might start, and I'm just like, hey, old Panther.
yeah, for real. There's a few of those old Panthers on that squad there. But yeah, they play Saturday night on NBC. 8-point favorites, Tampa. So even
Yeah.
the home field's not gonna be an advantage there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Buccaneers. 8 points is kind of a big spread if you play the spread there. But
I think it could be bigger, to be honest.
it could be, yeah. So I'm going with Bucks.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Then next up we have, we'll just go NFC first, I guess. Rams at Seahawks, and that is actually before the Bucks and Washington game on Fox at 4 o'clock Eastern. Seahawks are 3.5 point favorites, and I think I'm gonna pick the Seahawks here, but I think the Rams can make it a game depending on how Jared Goff is. Their
Yeah.
defense
If
is
even
pretty
play.
good there.
Yeah. But I think the Seahawks too, but it just depends on if Golf plays or not. Like, they still haven't named a starting quarterback for that game.
Yeah, actually, I see he's listed as out, so yeah, he won't be playing.
Really?
Yeah, according to injury report on ESPN, he is. It just says straight up out. So
Let's see.
so yeah,
Not Jerry
I don't know
Bogle.
who.
Oh, my lord. Yeah, Golf is limited in practice.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know.
I
The
don't know if
Rams
you're doing
defense
out.
could make it interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like Russell Wilson in the playoffs. He's got a few weapons now too.
I think I saw where the Rams were getting help back. They were getting I think Cooper Kupp was coming back or
Yeah.
something like that. And then their offensive lineman, their really good lineman's coming back. Who was it? He's an old guy. Old.
Oh, Whitworth.
Yeah, I think he
He's
was
on
coming
injured
back.
reserve, but I guess he could come back. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard last week that he was coming back.
Well,
So
yeah, so that would be a big help for whoever's at quarterback for them. But
yeah.
I think maybe either way the Seahawks win it. But the Rams defense is is pretty good. With Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey as well at corner. So, but I'm gonna stick with the Seahawks on that one.
All right. Yeah. Same.
And let's see the Bears and Saints. This game's supposed to be on Nickelodeon, I believe, and CBS.
It's gonna be fun to watch.
Saints are 10-point favorites, and just for fun, I'm gonna say Bears, just to make it interesting.
Really? I'm gonna say Saints on this one.
Yeah, we'll pick the Saints for the board, but I'm rooting for the Bears hard in that one. I think that would be interesting. I mean, and then of course the way it works in football, it's not a like a typical bracket. The one seed will play the lowest bracket, lowest seed. So if the Bears win that, they would get the Packers next. So they would have to play the Saints and then the Packers and then probably the Seahawks, or I guess it could be the Buccaneers. I mean, that would be wild, man, for the Bears to get in the Super Bowl. But yeah, so Saints are 10-point favorites. They should have all their guys back, I believe, too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think Kamara is gonna be back. Maybe I think that they're thinking he will, and Thomas I think is limited in practice, so he should be back too. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, no, Kamara, he had coronavirus, which there's some skeptics about this because they made that game Sunday, instead of Saturday, thinking they're going to give Kamara an extra day, so he
Yeah,
doesn't.
right.
I'm like, there's some sketchy stuff going on in this NFL, but I don't. I like Alvin Kamara, so he. It sucks he got the coronavirus, and it sucks he got fined. What was it, $5,000 for green and red shoes on Christmas?
Yeah, but he paid it to a charity.
Yeah, he
He,
matched
uh,
it or whatever and
yeah,
donated. Yeah. So I mean, there's good news out of that,
yeah, right.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Saints are easily the favorites. They lose to the Bears. That's a devastating blow. It could be Breeze's last season with the Saints. I think there's a lot of people that are thinking that. So that would be a sucky way to go if you lose to the Bears.
yeah.
But on the AFC side, we have the Ravens at the Titans. That's going to be a tough one, man. This is a rivalry. They say the Ravens are 3.5 point favorites. Ravens have been pretty hot here lately. Titans have had to play some. Well, he had to play the Packers in the snow, which was a tough game. We had
Yeah.
some kind of tight games that probably shouldn't have been tight. So it's going to be interesting to see, which Titans team shows up, which Ravens team shows up, because they played earlier this year and the Ravens were kind of, just easily rolled over, when the Titans played them. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. I'm of course going to pick the Titans. They're my team,
Yeah.
and I think they have potential to be a better team than the Ravens.
Yeah. Actually, I'm
they're
going
clicking.
Titans too. So.
All right, so we agree Titans there.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think the Titans they'll feed Derrick Henry. Sorry about that. Whew.
do what?
I think they'll feed Derrick Henry, and they'll get it done in the running game, and then pass it whenever they need to.
Yeah, see, and a lot of people are overlooking Tannehill, and you know what? Keep doing it because dude is out here balling out, and it's not even just play action plays. Like they, Pro Football Focus had, you can look them up on Twitter. PFF Titans, I think, actually has it pinned at the top, but they show his stats in play action and without play action, and it's pretty much the same, actually, maybe even better without the play action. But definitely, like, we got good balance with the Titans, and I like that. Ravens are more of a run team. Uh, with Lamar Jackson running, they do make plays with Marquise Hollywood Brown every now and then. But it's a tough game. Titans Ravens has become a rivalry. These teams do not like each other, so that usually brings out good stuff from the Titans. I've noticed if they don't hate the team, like the Browns, like the Bengals, they don't hate those teams, so it's a kind of easier going game sometimes. So they really got to come out and hate the other guy. It seems like to make a run at it, but I'm good with picking the Titans on that, of course. And they'll be playing 1 o'clock on Sunday on ABC.
All right.
In that first game there. Next, we have a rematch: Browns at Steelers.
Yep.
And that will be Sunday Night Football. Pittsburgh is 6 point favorites.
I'm going the opposite of the favorite. I'm going Browns.
Yeah, dude, Steelers may be coming back on the uptick here lately.
Yeah.
But man, the Browns beat the Steelers. That would be great for the Browns fans, and
Right.
kind of just what we've been seeing with the Steelers. Just they've been kind of sliding down the slope, away from it, away from the pinnacle that they were at.
Yeah.
And the Browns have weapons, man. I don't know what the coaching situation is going to be like for them. They will be Sunday nights, so maybe they get a little extra time. I don't think the coach can come back because he actually tested positive.
Yeah.
But the other assistants, if they're all there, same play calling, then I think they can make it'll be a good game. It should be.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Browns have talent to beat the Steelers, and the Steelers have been sliding. The Steelers with no run game, Browns with a run game. Late in the game, it'll make a difference, and I think the Browns can beat them.
Yeah, the Browns have a great offense. Their defense is, you got Myles Garrett, you got our guy Larry Ogunjobi. DBs are okay. But that offense, man, they got so many weapons, running backs, receivers, and Baker Mayfield can make plays. The Steelers' defense hasn't been what they were at the start of the year. They've of course had some injuries, but yeah, their run game, like I feel like any defense can stop them on the run, and if they can limit their drop passes, they may be able to come out on top.
Yeah,
They've been
but
getting
if
better
they
with
drop,
that, but yeah.
if they drop them and they don't run, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Browns on that. I think it'll be a good game though. It says the spread's Pittsburgh by 6, but I don't know. It could be a field goal game, honestly. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Yep.
And then next up, the last one of the playoffs, we have the Colts visiting Buffalo to play the Bills, and the Bills are 6.5 point favorites. And I feel for the Colts. That could be a bad draw for them because the Bills are on fire right now. Granted, they haven't played, the best teams the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Colts have really been having to battle to get into the playoffs. It could be interesting. I like the Colts and their defense. I like Jonathan Taylor. They have good pieces with the Colts, but the Bills, they do too. They got a really good defense. They got a really good offense. Josh Allen, killing it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a real battle. I think it could be, and in Buffalo we'll have to watch the weather there because obviously it could snow and be a big difference for the Colts there. But I'm going to pick the Bills in this one. I think it could be a really tough game though. Either way.
Yeah. I'm picking the Bills right there with you. I mean, the Bills have been tearing it up here recently, and you said it could snow. Shoot, it's supposed to snow here
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday. Yeah.
That'll be fun, but yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the Bills have been on fire here lately. They'll get it to Stephon Diggs, and then once that happens, it's pretty much over. So
Yeah. Yeah, and they can feed him like crazy, man. You got to guard that guy. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe he's just really good with his footwork and stuff, and that's possible. But there's a lot of catches he gets that he's just wide open.
yeah, it's like how.
So yeah, if you cover him, if you limit that, who knows? You can come out on top there.
Yeah,
But looks like we picked one upset in each side. Well, seed upset, not really an upset with Bucks and Washington.
yeah,
Bucks I feel like are the favorite. But so we'll see how that sets up for the division coming the following week. All right, so we'll have the Titans go to the Bills, Browns go to the Chiefs, Seahawks go to the Saints, and Bucks go to the Packers. So we have a battle of the Bays there.
yeah,
But yeah, those will be good matchups. I don't know if you want to pick all the matchups. We'll maybe save that for next
yeah,
week.
yeah. Save the next games for next week.
But yeah, I know Travis is expecting Chiefs and Packers. I'm going Titans Bucks. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. Hopefully they're all good games. Hopefully they get to play all of them. There was a scare with the Browns. The COVID outbreak they had going on, but looks like they have it under control and they'll be able to play. So that'll be good to see. And we'll just kind of scroll down and show you the draft picks if you guys want to see that. That would give the Steelers the 24th pick if they lose on the first round because it fills those in down at the bottom. But
yeah, that's based on what we picked. But Dolphins up.
Yeah, 18 and up there is all the ones that are locked in. That's what their picks are now, pending any trades and stuff. But
yeah, hopefully there's a couple trades.
yeah, I think there will be. I've heard the Jets are one that'll probably trade. The Jaguars, I think, are going to keep theirs. The Texans, of course, is the Dolphins. It doesn't show that here. Actually, I don't think it shows any of the trades.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe I had to come up with something. Yeah, it says the draft order does not take into account trades, penalties, or any other draft order manipulation. So
yeah.
But the Dolphins do have the third spot, which is huge because they have the 3rd and 18th.
Yeah.
So they're going to need that going forward in that AFC East, I feel like. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that, we'll go. That'll do it for football. We'll look at
anything else for the rest of them?
Oh, for the rest of these here?
No, I mean for like any other sports. What you got?
Let's see.
I'm trying to see.
Let me look up some stuff. I know basketball. There's a lot of basketball going on. Um.
Anthony Alfredo's driving the 38 car.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think didn't we talk about that before? Like that he was one that I saw that and felt like we had talked about it.
Yeah.
Um.
Uh, Todd Gilliland returns to the 38 truck, so that's something.
Yeah.
Larson's spotter got hired and then fired.
Yep. I don't know what's going on there, man. I like that he's getting a shot at retribution, and I don't like that there's people that are bashing him. But
Yeah.
man, I really wish he could get a good sponsor, someone to kind of believe in and work with him and work with what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Because he's really doing a lot to try and, better his name, yes, but also just to be a better, person. It seems like he's really, you know, doing to do better, not doing to
Yeah.
just look better.
Yeah.
Um,
They kind of leaked Alex Bowman's 48 paint scheme.
yeah, it looks the same as what Johnson's was last year.
It kind of is. It's a little different, I think, in the back. I think,
Mm,
but not anything crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So,
On Larson's side, they don't
and
have
the numbers are
anything yet,
white,
so
and I think the side numbers are white for the 48.
oh, that's good. I don't like the
Yeah.
yellow. Let's see. Oh, I had some basketball stuff. Let's see.
Hey, the Hornets won tonight.
Yeah, my Nuggets won the what was it last night, I think. Oh, the college football, we can mention that. They
Oh
had the
yeah.
playoffs this past week. Blowout for Alabama over Notre Dame, and a blowout for Ohio State over Clemson.
Yeah,
Um,
but Trevor Lawrence declared today. That's
yeah,
another big
he's
one.
going to the draft. Probably gonna be that Jaguars pick.
Yep.
They're bailing on Minshew and going for the locks of love there, Sunshine Trevor Lawrence. He seems like he'd be a great quarterback. I hate it for Minshew a little bit. That team could build around him, but we've talked about that enough. They're going Lawrence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Then it's on to
But
the Jets, whatever they decide. Justin Fields looked really good for Ohio State. Maybe they go for him, or maybe they trade the pick, or I've seen some say they'll go offensive line there and trade for a quarterback, trade Darnold out for a quarterback, or you can keep Darnold and hope the offensive line gets better for him.
I
Um,
say they trade with the Panthers for number 2 and we draft Fields.
Lord, I
Or
see
the Jags.
you're
Or
wanting
the
Fields
Jags take
A.
Fields and we get Lawrence.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Anyways, the Hornets, they won tonight versus the Hawks, 102-94, and Gordon Hayward dropped 44 points.
Jeez, man. So
So
he's
it's
back healthy. That's good.
yeah, so I was about to say, it looks like he's back the way he used to be. That's good for
Dude,
the Hornets, though, man.
I see the Sixers and Wizards 141 to 136 in regulation, 4 quarters.
Good lord.
Jesus, that was big second quarters for both teams there.
Uh,
Bradley Beal had 60. Jesus. But yeah, so that Sixers moved to 7-1. So that's looking good for them.
yeah, they're doing pretty good. How's the Lakers doing? Do you know?
Let's see the Lakers. They don't play tonight. Standings. Let's see. That's the East. Lakers are 6-2. They're winning their conference.
Nice.
Phoenix is doing pretty good. They're 5-2, half a game behind the Lakers so far.
Wow.
Nuggets right now are 3-4, and there's like a 6-way tie for the 7th spot. They're all
Yeah,
3-4, so
I think the Hornets are about the same, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
3-5. Yep, yeah.
so
It's early. We can get better.
I think the Hornets got a good team. I think that they might make it to the playoffs this year if they
Yeah, I
stay
mean,
healthy.
they beat the Hawks, and the Hawks are in right now. So, which I mean, there's a 4-way tie for that because it's
Yeah,
early, but.
yeah. No, I think the Hornets got a shot at it. To be honest.
And then we have, let's see, hockey will be back probably before we get the next pod up. They'll be coming Wednesday, a week from
Oh
today.
Lord,
We're recording, so we'll have hockey next
don't
week.
even remind me.
Oh yeah, Travis is upset because the Carolina Hurricanes. He just learned what was it about earlier this week, I think.
It was,
That
yeah.
that the Charlotte Checkers are no longer the minor league team for the Carolina Hurricanes because the Hurricanes decided to move on to Chicago Wolves as their minor league team, which made zero sense to me when it happened. And the Charlotte Hornets are now the Florida Panthers minor league team. So the Panthers are still in Charlotte in two different sports.
Yeah.
but
Checkers.
but yeah, and look what happened. Look what happened. No minor league season this year.
Yeah, right.
It's all because of that.
Man, I can't wait until sports are back, man.
Yeah, where we can go and sit in Section 431 instead of.
Like, I've got a brand new baseball stadium to go to right up the road, literally 5 minutes from my house, and I can't go to it.
Oh yeah, the Kannapolis Cannonballers.
Stupidest name ever.
Right,
Sorry.
they were the Intimidators. Minor league sports has just frustrated you here recently.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, one thing we got to do when they open them up is go to all the minor league stadiums in North Carolina at least. I think that'd be cool. That'd be a cool trip.
Take a picture of it at each one. Be like, what's up?
We'll have maybe that'll be some content we can make video from the games or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah, right.
Eating a hot dog at each stadium.
Yes.
Man.
Speaking of content, we've got some different ideas coming up that we're going to look at trying to do, to be honest.
Yeah, so definitely if you're listening on audio only on our podcast platforms, definitely check out our YouTube channel because we're going to have some content that really we're just going to make for YouTube. It'll be video kind of deals, so stay tuned, subscribe on that if you're interested in that. We'll have, we got a few things planned. I don't want to announce anything because we're not sure completely on how we're going to do it, but we are going to try and get more maybe sports specific things, NASCAR, maybe hockey, baseball. We'll kind of put different things in there, and different things down the road. Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, a lot of big plans, trying to see what all you can get done, I guess,
Yeah, we're not busy. We're just bored, so we gotta make content. We want something every other day or something, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, do check out also our social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter. I know I'm posting like crazy on Facebook. Travis does the Twitter side. He'll be posting during games and stuff, and any news we see through the week. We kind of just share it on there.
I didn't post anything this week. I'm slacking this week.
I know, man. I was like, I ain't got a single update from him on the Twitter side. Facebook, I've been posting. We had the World Juniors. USA won the World Juniors over Canada last night. So that was pretty cool. I think I shared that on there. I may have missed that, but I try and post something I see every day. Kind of sports news or a fun thing. In sports history. But, and also today, I did want to mention on the pod, today is the anniversary of Marcus Mariota throwing a touchdown to himself in the playoffs against the Chiefs in 2018. 3 years ago, man. 3 years ago that happened.
Good Lord.
Oh, man, time flies. But I hope everybody's having a good 2021 so far. I know there's some rough things going on in the world right now, in America, in the country, in the world. So hopefully this was a little, kind of light spot for you guys. Hearing some sports talk. We try and keep it fun. Give our thoughts. We just like to talk, I guess, too. but do stay tuned. We do have more things coming down the wire. When the season's over, we're still gonna churn out some things. We'll have NASCAR season will start. We're gonna probably put more into that when the season starts. Hopefully baseball start on schedule. We'll have that as well.
Yeah, it'll still be the weekly podcast. It'll just be different stuff.
Yeah, see, this is more like basically football was really the only sport that we could cover.
Yeah.
So football is kind of our main one on here, but this is kind of our weekly thing. We'll have everything. Anything extra will be kind of probably just YouTube video things we can do. But yeah, so be sure subscribe us. It's at Section 431 Pod on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I think is what Section 431 Pod on that as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you search that, I think we'll probably be the only one to pop up. I try to get as original as possible with our name here, so hopefully that pays off. But and be sure to let your friends know about us. We're gonna try and get some more fun things out there for people. Just be a little light, be a little peace. Talking sports, yeah, we joke about teams we don't like, but we're pretty fair in it, I don't like the Jaguars. Don't like the Colts are okay, but I don't like the Jaguars.
Yeah,
but we're still fair, to them.
Yeah, I don't like the Saints or the Falcons, but the Buccaneers are eh.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, I wonder if every team has that, like, one team in their division. They're like, that team's okay. We don't like them, but if they get in as the wild card team, that's cool. For me, like, the Jaguars is the only one I don't like. I mean, Texans, I like Deshaun Watson. I like Watt. Colts, I'm glad they finally got an offensive line there. And Jonathan Taylor I like, so.
Yeah, I can see it, to be honest.
But in your division, man, you got Drew Brees, you got Alvin Kamara, you got Rojo with the Bucks. I mean, yeah, you got Tom Brady. There's people that don't like him, but Matt Ryan with the Falcons. He was a former MVP.
What's not to like about the Panthers?
And then the Panthers, you got Jeremy Chin, Teddy Bridgewater, the wide receiver that thinks the mascot's a bear, and Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. Which, if y'all haven't seen that whole story, you have got to go see it. It's hilarious.
Look it up, Robbie Anderson and the mascot. It'll probably pop up.
Shirts were made, tweets were posted, videos were made, signs were made. I'm just like, what is happening?
What's that bear doing over there?
And they never met. They never met in the season. That's the funny part.
Yeah, like, how is that even possible? Like, if I'm the mascot, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go hang out with Robbie Anderson between while he's on the bench or something.
Yeah, I'm going to see him at least a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe there's rules against that or something, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's going to pretty much do it for us this week. But do make sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff, kind of just lets us see, people are watching, I guess. And get the word out, see, let your friends know if you like us. Comment what you think we could do better, what you'd like to see us talk about, different things like that. And follow the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. I think we're on Apple Podcast now. Apple, if you're listening on that's pretty cool. Google Podcast. Anywhere you're listening, we appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yep.
A little shorter pod this week for you. Enjoy the playoffs, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.